Copyright 2014, Math Diagnostics and Intervention, all rights reserved. We're going to learn about the distributive property. And where the distributive property shows up is when we have a number outside of a set of parentheses, like this 3 out here, times an expression inside of a set of parentheses like this 40 plus 5. Now we could just follow our order of operations and say that's 3 times 45, and then 3 times 45 is 135. However, oftentimes we don't have just numbers inside of our parentheses. We could have expressions with variables or several other types of things inside of our parentheses. So we need to learn how to use the distributive property to help us simplify this in another way. And one way we can simplify this is, or think about this, is by using the area model for multiplication, which we have over here. Now, I have a rectangle that is 3 by 40, okay, and 3 times 40 is 120. And I have another rectangle over here that is 5 by 3. 5 times 3 gives us an area of 15. Then the total area for that rectangle would be our 135. This is essentially what we do when we take a look at the distributive property. We take the number 3 and we multiply it by the two parts inside of our parentheses, 40 and 5. So let's do that. 3 times 40. 3 times 40 plus 3 times 5. We get 120 plus 15, just like we did with our area model, and we end up with 135. And that's wonderful, except I'm going to have students that say, how come we can't just use our order of operations? And the answer is you can in this case, but you can't in this case. Here we have 3 times a quantity, 4x plus 5. And we can't just use our order of operations because we cannot combine 4x and 5. They're not like terms. So once again, we're going to take a look at our area model, and we're going to say I have this rectangle over here that is 4x by 3. 4x times 3 is 12x. And I have this rectangle over here that is 5 by 3. 5 times 3 is 15. And when I combine those as a single expression, I get 12x plus 15. And that's exactly what we're going to do with our distributive property. We're going to take the number and multiply it by everything on the inside of our parentheses. So we're going to take our 3 and we're going to multiply it by 4x. And we're going to take the 3 and we're going to multiply it by 5. 3 times 4x is 12x. 3 times 5 is 15. And that's as far as we can take it. Since the 12x and the 15 are not like terms, we cannot combine it any further. If you get into trouble, you can always use the area model to help you figure out what's going on with a distributive property. But as long as you remember to do this, take the number and its sign and multiply it by everything on the inside, you should be just fine. Good luck.